you've done this before.
Yeah, dude, I was actually a speech teacher.
Oh, yeah.
That's
But
crazy.
no, but still, that was a long time ago.
Is that what you taught at Silver?
Yeah, I taught speech. I taught college readiness and speech. Everyone chill.
Shout out to Amanda being our makeup artist and
Lawyer.
yeah.
She does it all, folks. Hire Amanda, long story short.
For real. How's your day going?
It's good.
Yeah. Wait. So how you been here since when?
Last week I came to give a training.
Okay.
So it's been actually like a week and a half.
Week and a half.
Yeah.
And how often do you go from Austin to El Paso?
I come to El Paso like every other month.
Every other month.
Yeah, I try to do it every other month to visit my family and to work, to come and visit my business here and like do a training or take in clients, hang out.
And what is it you have here? You said you have a business here?
Yeah, I have a business here and in Austin. It's, well, now it's turning more into like a med spa, but we do like skin camouflage services. So we fix scars, like plastic surgery scars, stretch marks, like that's what I focus on. So
And it's called Lala Blush, right?
Yeah.
That's
So
the name of it.
I call myself like Lala Blush.
Okay, I got you.
And my business is called Pretty Ink Studio. But yeah, I have one here and in Austin, and then we're opening up a new business in California.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that the because you said Manhattan Beach?
Yeah.
And I don't know why I was thinking New York, but that's in California.
Yeah, it's in California.
Okay,
Yeah, because
alright.
Manhattan Beach is in. There's a Manhattan. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
In New
Dang.
York,
So that's coming up like very soon then. that you're
Yeah,
gonna open
and
that.
like we're looking in September, or we thought we found the spot, but now we're like regressing. We don't love it, so we're like, let's just wait a little bit. So it's taking a little while just finding the spot we want. But well, that business, I'm doing it with business partners. I've never had business partners before. I met them in Austin, and they have businesses like everywhere, like in New York, Miami, to in Austin, like just all over the U.S. and in Israel too. So,
Oh wow.
but it's the first time I'm doing it with like
Other people.
like
Yeah.
the one here in El Paso and the one in Austin, like I did it on my own.
Yeah.
Started it on my own.
Dang. So I'm sure that it comes with a different set of not worries, but yeah, in a way, like there's just some things you have to account for that you normally go through, like when you just do it on your own, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I think it has some positives, but also like some stresses, because just you never know, working with somebody. But I trust these guys, and like they've flown me to LA. They came to Austin. We've had like various conversations. They've been business owners since forever, and they started from the bottom too, like me. And I love their story. So we just like vibed, And I met them randomly.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like. Oh.
Do you think you would have had that opportunity if you weren't in Austin?
Oh, dude, no, definitely. Like I needed to move to Austin to get that opportunity. I didn't even think that would even happen to me.
Wow.
First of all, I didn't even know or think ever that I would be in the beauty industry or that I would even own a business. I never even crossed my mind until I was older.
Yeah, because before you were essentially... So let me just intro really quick because I don't think we even know your name at this point. So your name is Laura?
Yeah, Laura.
Laura, okay.
Laura Lara. I don't know why my parents did that to me. Like, mom, dad, like, I can't wait to get married to somebody.
Laura, and your last name?
Lara. It's Lara. Literally Laura
Lara.
Laura Patricia.
Oh, okay,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't wait to get married, guys. Somebody needs to change that last name.
Now, I remember you guys, because we listened to... I think we both listened to your podcast with Chuco Chica, and you're like, yeah, we need to change this last name. Yeah.
No, but honestly, like, my name, Laura Lara, has gotten me to a lot of places. I feel like people remember me, and they're like, oh, yeah, like, your name is...
For sure.
But... everyone, that's why people call me Lala, because they couldn't pronounce like Laura Lara, or like they would get confused.
Yeah.
So they were just like, I'm just gonna call you Lala.
Lala's a sick ass last name. What I think about Lala is like the little like drinks from the. Do you remember the Lala?
Oh, the yogurt.
Bro?
You talking about the yogurt?
Oh yeah,
those were busting, dude. They're bomb.
Those are good as yogurts, man.
Is that like a Mexican thing?
Yeah. No. Lala is a.
For sure.
It is a Mexican. It's a Mexican yogurt. Yeah.
Yes.
You ever went to Esmart before? They're flooded over there, dude.
I love Esmart. Dude, my mom would take me and I would get all the samples. I would be walking around Esmart eating all the samples. Dude, one time my mom forgot me at Esmart. She was in the bridge, bro. She was in the bridge and she remembered me, and then she went back, and I was just like, where were you? She's all crying. She's like, I'm sorry.
So is S-Mart like a... I think I'm just
like the Walmart.
I'm uncultured then. I've never been to S-Mart.
What?
Yeah.
It's like the Walmart of Mexico.
Did you grow up in El Paso?
Yeah, I did. But I grew up like... I'm the youngest. And then like my parents... my parents are obviously Mexican, but I feel like you're more Mexican than me. Like you're half black, you're half black, half Mexican, but like he speaks fluent Spanish. I barely speak like fluent Spanish. It's just a totally different dynamic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's hear you speak some
No,
Spanish.
no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna put us like that.
Puts them in the spot.
Wait, so would you go to Juarez like often or like growing up?
I mean, growing up, yeah. My parents were from Mexico. They came over here to give us a better life, me and my brother. So when I was born, my parents were like, oh shit, like we need to get out of here. And we have a daughter now. So they were like, they made it like their mission to come over here. And they did everything like legally. Like my mom took exams and like waited years to get even the papers to even be like accepted to take the exams. I remember my dad took the exam like twice because he didn't pass it the first time. Damn. And it's so funny because now my mom's helping people pass the exams to become a resident.
Wow.
Yeah, to become a U.S. citizen.
Wow,
Right.
that's amazing. So yeah, you grew up obviously here in El Paso, Central El Paso.
I grew up in Central El Paso. I went to Rusk Elementary, Bassett Middle School, and Austin High School. Yeah.
Okay.
I grew up in the hood, guys.
Yeah.
What's up?
We grew up. So we're from the Northeast. We grew up. We went to Andrus, both of us.
Cool.
He went to Terrace. I went to Nolan. So I feel like Central and Northeast are like they can go hand in hand, bro, for sure.
They're different ghettos, different culture, like different cultured ghettos.
Yeah, definitely. We're different, but we're still like, oh, you're from the Northeast, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
like we both had a hard home. It was good.
Yeah, for sure. So you grew up there, and what did you like envision yourself doing when you were younger?
Dude, I was all over the place. First of all, growing up, I was a little troublemaker. Mm-hmm. I literally was in a gang, dude.
Wow.
Not the fucking gang, dude.
Like in the middle school gang, dude. I'm not even kidding. I got jumped and everything.
What?
Because we grew up in the hood. Like when I tell people, like explain people like how I grew up, they're like, no way. And I'm like, yes, dude. Yes. Like I had a friend pregnant like in 6th grade.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
But it was like an experience. I feel like I grew up faster than most people and like seeing crazy things. But it made me who I am now. And I just like appreciate that I went through a struggle. Because I didn't even realize like that I didn't grow up with a lot or until I was older. And then people would tell me like, you live in the hood. And I'm like, what? It's like,
I don't think you realize as a child, like I feel like I hear that a lot. Like people especially that grow up from like not so fortunate backgrounds, you know, they end up like not even realizing that, oh snap, like we're actually pretty poor and we're not as well off until they leave and they're just like, damn, we didn't really have shit growing up.
Or when you're like more like in high school and then you start realizing a little bit, but you're still like all your friends grow up with you, so it's, you know, it's kind of like it's fine, like this is how it is.
For sure. Yeah, so you grow up and then so you were basically, you say you were a troublemaker, so you didn't really think about the future that much?
No, I mean, in middle school, it was weird. Like in high school, I would like ditch a lot. I would hang out with my friends were crazy. And even till this day, like I have high school friends that I'm still like homies with. I love them. Shout out to all of you. You know who you are. But we were little, like we loved to party, dude. Like back then we didn't have Instagram and Twitter or nothing. Dude, we had like MySpace and shit. Like you have to be like, oh, my friend would be like, why am I in your number 2 now? I have to move you back to number 1. But dude, we would like tell each other, meet at Whataburger at 10 p.m. If you weren't there, like you weren't gonna make it to the party.
Damn.
And there would be like a line of cars at Whataburger, like just following this one car.
Yeah.
And dude, we were partying hard. I'm talking about like, now I became a high school teacher. I ended up becoming a high school teacher, and they would tell me like their stories on how like they would party. They would be like, "Miss, I went to a party and like we had a beer," and I'm like, "Really? Oh."
You're like, I'm taking all the hard drugs. I'm taking.
Everybody's
we were smoking weed and taking shots.
Join the molly. I'm like, oh.
That's wild. Yeah, just at different times, bro. Now that I think about it.
It was different.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, but maybe maybe because I'm not in high school now, but now like my brother is a high school principal now, and he like tells me all those crazy things that kids are doing now, and I'm like, dude, he's like, dude, kids have guns now for real. Like they're not like fighting and duking it out like old school. Like
they're catching bodies, dude.
Dude, yeah, these kids, that even gave me goosebumps because like these kids are out here, like actually killing each other. It's sad to see.
Yeah. Damn. So yeah, you end up You end up going to Austin, right?
Yeah.
And then you graduate. What were your plans? What were your plans for yourself?
Dude, I remember even my counselor telling me like, Laura, what are you gonna do with your life? And I was like, I'm gonna go to UTEP. I'm gonna go to University of Texas at Paso. Like I want to do something. She told me you should go to a tech school because you're not gonna make it at the university. She straight up told me that.
So you didn't have good grades. Your grades.
In my freshman and sophomore year, I didn't, and then my junior and senior year, I started realizing like I'm never gonna get out of here, and I was like, I need to get out of here. So I went to night school for a whole year to make up all the grades, like all the classes that I failed and like ditched, and not even because I failed, because I just wouldn't go to school.
It was an attendance thing.
Yeah, it was an attendance thing, and like I had to make up for all of that for a whole year. And then they put me like in AP classes. I think I just wasn't challenged enough. I'm the kind of person like I need a challenge. Like if it's too easy for me, I'm just like not gonna pay attention.
Yeah.
So once I got challenged enough, then I started like exceeding and doing great. But then I went to UTEP and I was like, I'm gonna show you, lady. But I went to UTEP and I actually graduated top 7% in my class.
Wow.
And I got a master's degree in administration to become a principal. So, like, it's just crazy how life happens.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Wait, and so what was that switch for you that, like, essentially made you want to go to school for such a long time? Like,
once I got to the university and I was challenged enough, and I just realized, like, I want more for my life. And I didn't want to grow up living paycheck to paycheck. Because I saw my parents struggle. I saw my parents living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
Their whole life. Like, my mom, my dad worked their butts off I wouldn't see my parents. I would have to walk home and get home and they still weren't there. My dad would get home. He was, like, tired from working all day. Like, they had good careers in Mexico. Like, they went to college and everything over there, but they had to give everything up to raise me here. And they had to get, like, low level, jobs and live paycheck to paycheck. So I saw the struggle and I was like, I don't want that to be my life. I want to do better for myself. So my parents always taught me, like, get your ducks in a row. Like, you need to get a degree or you're not going to do anything with your life. But now it's changing, I don't think that is still what's happening. But they always told me, like, go get a degree, buy a house, get married, have kids. I didn't listen to any. The only thing I listened to was, like, I got the degrees and that's it. But I just wanted a better life for myself and for my family, honestly. Like, I wanted to give my parents a better life.
And so you went the administration route, and you said your brother is a principal.
Yeah,
right?
I think I kind of just followed what my brother was doing because I got my bachelor's in public relations and PR, marketing and all that. And I got my minor in education. I was a tutor at Riverside High School for UTEP. So I was a UTEP tutor, and they sent me to a high school, and I liked it. I liked working with the kids and talking to them and, like, telling them about my experience and, like, how they should do good in school and, like, they should go to college because I feel like I matured a lot in college. Like, I just became a better person, and I needed something to get me out of, like, the life I was about to have if I wouldn't have gone to college, probably. Sure. Who knows what would have happened to me.
Yeah. Did you still like party and stuff in college?
Yes, dude. That's still a part.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just my personality, though. I've always been, like, super. I like to have fun, go out, like, talk to people, get to know people, and just be happy.
Yeah.
Dude. Like,
work hard, play hard.
Work hard, play harder. That's literally my Wi-Fi password.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it's work hard, play harder.
That's dope. Yeah, and so you graduate from UTEP. Damn, she getting all the English.
Yeah, she getting right with it.
You end up going the administration route. What was like your first job in that path? Yeah.
No, dude, I was a high school teacher. I became a high school teacher at 21.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was a high school teacher, and I had a student that was like super senior, and he was 19, and I was 21, and he's like, "How are you, my teacher?" And I'm like, "Sit down."
Yeah. And this was at Silva?
No, I actually, my first job was at a private school. It was called Laura Patricia. And it was a school for kids that were like mainly all from Juarez. And they came over here on scholarships or like their parents' money.
Yeah.
But if they had a scholarship, they had to wake up, be there at 6 a.m. and start cleaning the school, or they would be feeding the other kids. They would make them the lunch. They had jobs, dude,
Yeah.
to go to the school. So they were all like super humble kids, and they just wanted to get out of Mexico and like live a better life in the U.S. So that was and I got paid nothing. I literally got paid like $23,000 a year.
Wow.
Yeah, and I did that for 2 years.
Okay.
There.
And did you immediately find like, damn, I actually kind of enjoy this?
Dude, it was hard.
Yeah.
It was. I think anything you do the first 2 years are the hardest years.
Yeah.
So it was hard for me, and I think the kids didn't like. I was trying to act strong and be like, I am your teacher, and this is what you're gonna do. But I was still trying to figure it out. But it was, at the end of the day, I feel like I still have students from that school that reach out to me and remember and be like, Ms. Lara, I saw you doing this. That's awesome. Or like, you're such a good teacher. Like, I mean, not all the kids are gonna like you, but
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And so when did the idea, because you ended up, all right, so from this private school, when did you end up going to Silva?
Well, actually, I went to Houston.
Oh, okay.
So I went to Houston because
That's right. So you moved to Houston and you had a really tough time out there.
Yeah, I went to Houston, and it was like hard. Let's not even get into that.
Yeah.
but
what was your reason for moving?
Dude, a lot of things.
Okay.
It's always, I moved because I went through a really hard time where I got in trouble here in El Paso, but it wasn't even my fault. But I got in trouble, and I wanted to stay away from that. And then I got into a breakup. I felt like I was going out with this guy for like 4 years, and my college boyfriend. And then we broke up, and I was like, everything was just falling apart. And then I moved. Yeah. It's so funny because every time I move, things fall apart.
Yeah.
But then they come back together.
Yeah. So things, basically in El Paso, you just felt like you needed like a fresh.
Yeah, I felt like I needed a fresh start. But then I went over there, and it was like life hit me even harder. And I think I was too young. I still was like too young to. I was like 23.
Wow.
So I think I was too young to even like all the stuff that I was going through, to go through that. I stayed there a year, and I was like, okay, like this. They called me. I did a job interview for Silva Magnet, and I did it through the phone. And I literally like was so nervous for that interview because I wanted it so bad because I wanted to get out of that district. And I got it. And then he called me and told me, you got the job. I literally called my dad. I was like, I'm going back. And he came and grabbed all my stuff. I lived in this bougie place in Houston, everything. I went to that school because they were paying me 10 grand more than anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to pick the school that gives you the most money, but that ended up being like the worst mistake.
That's a reason they're paying you that much.
So what was the catch? Is it like terrible students, or like you
honestly,
in a terrible
like,
neighborhood? Or?
I was working in a really bad neighborhood, and I'm used to teaching high school kids. I'm used to working with older kids, and these were like 6th graders. But I kid you not, dude, like they were taking like drugs to school, guns, knives, like the movies, the movie. There's metal detectors in the school. Like these kids were like hitting me.
For middle school, for middle schoolers?
So over there they have intermediate schools.
Okay, yeah.
So they have like elementary, and then intermediate school, and then middle school, and then high school. Like it's different. But I was like, damn, El Paso kids are amazing. Like nobody better complain about these El Paso kids, cause. But then I felt like a failure. You know, I felt like, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. Like I failed. I felt like I failed everybody, like my family, my students, myself. So I got super depressed doing that. That was the first time I went to the hospital, and I had anxiety and depression, and I thought I was legit sick, and they're like, no, you just have anxiety and depression. But I went back home and then I started working at Silva and like things started picking up again.
Yeah. So when you were in Houston is when you had like your episode like with anxiety and
My
depression?
first one. Yeah. My first episode.
So you had never experienced
Never.
like anything to that magnitude?
Never. Not ever in my life. I was always good until I moved. I was by myself over there and I legit had like an anxiety attack.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? I just legit thought I was sick. And I couldn't even eat. I would wake up and I would wake up like scared. And like I didn't even want to wake up. And my heart was beating. I was like, I have an immune disorder.
Yeah.
Because, your parents never teach you like,
No.
I'm Mexican, dude. We have to be strong. I can't be vulnerable.
Yeah. What's wild is I literally had like the exact same experience.
What?
Like to the T as far as like, damn, something's wrong with me. Like I feel like I'm about to die type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it was a specific moment where I was like, oh fuck, like I literally feel like an out of body experience where I was just like, yo, like I just need I need help. I need something.
No.
Like I need to go to the hospital. And so I did. So I was just like,
go to the hospital. And then they wanted to put me on meds, but I didn't do it that time. But this last time let me tell you, when I moved to Austin, I've been in Austin for like a year now. But when I moved to Austin, I went through something even harder. And it was after like everything. I already had like my business here. I was established here. I was already making like great money. I mean, I didn't even know I was a high school teacher for 7 years. I came back, I worked at Silva and I loved it. The kids were amazing. I loved being a college readiness and speech and business teacher. Like it was fun. And I was not getting paid that much. I was getting paid like 42 grand. But I was happy doing that in El Paso and like being with my family, and it was just stable, like living. I was not living paycheck to paycheck because I was by myself. I didn't have kids, and it was a good life. But dude, when I moved to Austin again, like some crazy stuff happened to me, and my mental health went. There was like 3 months where I was like bad, depressed. Like I went through it.
Is there something like, because you've gone through it like multiple times, can you pinpoint something that like triggers it? Or is it just a whirlwind of things?
I think multiple things have to be happening to me. It's really hard for me to break down. It's really hard because I'm super strong. Like my dad always taught me, and my mom, my brother, like my mom, there's been like very little times I've seen my mother cry. It was like when her mother cried, she cried. And I think that's like one of the only times I've really seen her cry. And then I bought my parents a house and then she cried. But that's literally, I've only seen her cry like twice in my life, dude. She never cries. And my dad cries more, but he always taught me like, and my brother, like always, they raised me like a man, dude. I'm like, I feel like I'm a little masculine because I got raised by wolves.
Yeah.
By my uncles, my brother, like my dad. They always taught me like, don't show vulnerability, and you have to be a strong woman because people are gonna like run all over you. And I think that's what made me an entrepreneur, and that's what made me a boss. Because I just nunca me dejé. Like I never let people bring me down, and I was always like tough. Like nah. If you tell me, I've had people like, wish me the worst and tell me like, this is a stupid idea, blah blah blah, like try to put me down, and I have the mentality like, oh yeah, like keep telling me because I'm gonna show you.
Yeah. For sure.
But
yeah, so what do you think it was then?
Dude, well,
because I mean the common denominators, one of them is at least you moving from El Paso, you not being in El Paso.
Yeah, and it wasn't even in that. Okay, so let me tell you the story. I think this is like a story that a lot of people could relate to because it has to do with everything. Yeah. With relationship, business, family, life, everything. Yeah. So health, everything. So long story short, when I started my business, I was doing great. I was in a 5-year relationship with someone I met here in El Paso. He's not from El Paso. He's from New York, but... And
this is not the college one? This was a different...
No, yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, even it's 3 serious relationships. I've been a relationship girl. This is actually the first year that I'm single for a year. I mean, I got into a situationship, but
yeah.
Who doesn't? But this is actually the first time where I'm like, damn, like I've been single for a year. Congratulations.
Yeah.
But my first relationship, dude, was in high school. I was in that relationship for 6 years.
Damn.
Yeah. What's up, Caesar?
That's crazy. Not the freaking
Not
shout
the
out.
name drop.
Shout out.
We're homies. We're good.
That's good. That's awesome.
And then my second one, it was 4 years. My college relationship. I was with him for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then this last one, I was with him for 5 years.
It's fine. You can tell her.
What's up?
She wants to.
What does she want to do?
She needs to fix something.
God.
How often do you go to Austin and meet people from El Paso? Because every time we go to Austin, we meet people from El Paso.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Every time.
Every time I go anywhere, I meet people from El Paso.
Yeah,
And
dude,
literally, I
freaking-
could go to the randomest places, and I'll hear somebody talking, and then I'll be like, "Are you from El Paso?" Like, yes, me too, bro. Like, let's take shots, dude.
Dude, we always flock together. Like, people
Like,
from El Paso
we
always.
just we stick together,
Yeah,
and it's a
exactly.
vibe when you're with people from El Paso. Honestly,
Facts.
and especially if you see each other out of town, because it's different when you're out of town.
Exactly.
Because you're just like,
Oh shit.
we're a good time.
Yeah.
I think we're a good time, and we're just like happy people, and
It's always like, no fucking way.
yeah, no way, dude. And then,
What high school you
like,
go
if I'm
to?
right away, high school you go
Yeah. Hanks. I'm like, shit.
or when you're dating somebody, it's always like, so what high school did you go
Yeah.
to?
Damn. So, all right. Yeah. Shout out Caesar. And then so Caesar, after Caesar, you had another 4-year.
Yeah,
And then your most recent one was 5 years.
Yeah, my
And then
most recent one.
And you've been single.
yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, the last one, the 5-year one. I mean, he was that actually was like the healthiest relationship I've ever been in. I feel like my first 2 relationships were like my
Toxic.
toxic El Paso learning relationships, where you just learn about yourself and learn like what you like, what you don't like, and like what you need to fix internally.
Yeah.
Because I realized like a lot of things, even in this last relationship, I realized like what I needed to fix for myself, like. But it was the healthiest relationship I've been in, this last one. But yeah, we lived together for 5 years. We lived together. We had a house together, 2 dogs, everything was good. But then we needed to move. So I moved to Austin because he needed to move to Austin. He's like, let's move, everything. He even asked my parents for my hand. It got crazy, dude. So I was like, this is it. I'm going to get married. Finally,
Gonna change my last name.
Finally, my last name's going to change. But we moved, and like he had depression and anxiety issues. And like he will say, no, I don't. But like, because he's like very masculine, like, he grew up in the military. Like he
Yeah.
grew up in West Point. Like his dad is literally like the athletic director of West Point.
Yeah.
And he's a good guy. But he, dude, growing up in the military, like I see how it is. And I always told myself, I'm never going to date a military guy, especially in El Paso. Like, it's like never, ever, all the girls know, like never date a military guy. But I never saw red flags or anything. And he didn't have them. He just had depression. And but when it got worse and worse, I feel like when you sleep with somebody next to somebody, like I believe, I'm a big believer in energy.
Yeah.
I'm a huge believer in energy. Like if I'm hanging out with people that are very negative, I'm going to start becoming negative. If I start hanging out with people that are positive and go-getters and like business minded, then that's going to be me. Like if I hang out with four millionaires, I'm going to be the
next
fifth,
one. Yeah.
So like he just started going through a lot of stuff in the military, and he would come home depressed, sad, and I started getting to me. But then when we moved to Austin, we were already like falling out, right? A little bit, like we were going through it, and we never really went through it that bad ever.
Yeah.
I was actually really good for 4 years. But when we moved over there, so I had to like move to a new city. I had to build a new business over there. I had just built my business in El Paso. I was here for like 2 years or 3 years, and I was already like good and established and making good money and like doing good for myself. I couldn't even believe that I stopped being a teacher.
Yeah.
I was a teacher for years. I never thought I was going to get out of it. I thought I was going to be a principal for the rest of my life. So getting out of that even was like, oh my God, like I was scared. It was a lot of pressure.
For sure.
And a lot of like stress and pressure, and like to go after it and have everybody tell you like it's a bad idea, like don't do it, it's just a trend, like it'll pass, like it's not steady income. Everybody told me, my mom, my dad, my cousins, like some of my good friends, like, and I think they were worried about me, you know. But I was like, my degree's always gonna be there.
For sure.
It's always gonna be. I could lose everything right now. I could go back and I have a degree. I could go back to being a teacher or being a principal, whatever. Like, that's always gonna be there. But starting a business and doing what you want in life and like pursuing your goals, that's not gonna always be there. Like, that you should do now.
For sure.
And that's what I encourage, like, all women, is if you want to do something, if you have like something that you're thinking in your mind and you can't get it out, you have a gut feeling, you need to follow that gut feeling, because you're gonna regret it later. So that was my mentality. But anyway, so I moved to Austin with him, and we took our dogs. We got out of our house that I was in for years. So new city, I had to build a new business, and I did. In less than like 2 months, I had to build a brand new business over there, the same one, but over there. And the business wasn't even a problem. The business was great. And actually, all my clients, I had a lot of clients still fly to me to Austin, and it was still going good. I still was getting clients. Still was like doing trainings and like the business wasn't a problem. But dude, like, so my relationship started falling apart, and I thought I was gonna marry this guy. I was in love with this guy, and he started like doing things behind my back, and I caught him. I caught him like in
the act.
Yeah, dude, no, it was the guy worse. I just caught him lying to me.
Yeah.
I don't even know he cheated on me. I'm not gonna blame him for stuff like that, but I caught him pretty much. That's cheating to me, like emotionally cheating on me, like driving to San Antonio to go see another girl, and then he lied to me like 3 times. And I even called him. I was on the phone, and I knew where he was because I had his location. Like,
Did he not know you had his location? Oh, you're slick, dude.
But he shared his location with me a long time ago, and I always just had it. And
wait, on what? Like, he didn't realize you had it. Like,
that's a rookie mistake, bro.
He never knew. He just never knew I had his location. He shared it with me a long time ago, like before he got deployed, and he shared it with me. And like that was that. I never worried about him. Never. I never caught him slipping. I even went through his phone because I'm Mexican. I'm about to go through a phone.
While he was asleep.
I was like, dude, I never found
Face ID.
Right, I'm all. I never found anything though. He was always very.
He was on his P's and Q's.
Yeah, dude. He was on. I could honestly say he was super loyal to me, forever. But I even think that we just started realizing when I moved to Austin, I started realizing like we're very different. I thought he complimented me because I'm like very high energy and like I like to go out and have fun and travel, and like I'm an extrovert, and he's a super introvert, like really introverted. He's a homebody and like he's shy, and I've always liked shy guys. I've always like I like a challenge, so I've always liked like shy guys. But when I moved over there, I started realizing like we really are not like we're too different.
Yeah.
Like I remember we got to Austin. I was like, let's go to like Lady Bird Lake. Let's go canoeing. Let's go day drinking. Like let's explore. Let's make friends. And he was like, no, I want to stay home and I want to play video games and like what. And that's cool, right? Because he always did that. But I was like, we're in a new city. I have no friends here. And he always let me. He was never too jealous. He always let me do my thing and whatever. But I was like, dude, I want to travel with my partner. If I have a partner, I want to live my life with my partner and do things with my partner. Not just have a partner that's at home and I'm experiencing life without you. Yeah. That's what partnership is for.
So I got a question. Like, how do you think the dynamic is when like you being a woman, like making more income than your man? Like, how do you think that changes the dynamic?
So also, that was my
and was that
point.
was that a struggle?
Yeah. So that was my next point I was gonna get to, because I think another thing that happened is that I met him when I was a high school teacher. He was an engineer in the military. Like he was making way more money than me. He was supporting like me pretty much. Like he was the man of the house or whatever. And he always was supportive of me. He never was like, he told me that I think your idea is a little crazy and I don't know, like don't quit your teaching job, stay in your teaching. He was always like guarded and like, I don't think you should quit. But I was like, no, this is good. Like he was like, it took him a year to be like, okay, you could quit, like quit. And not that I even asked him for permission, but just his thoughts. But I think once he didn't like being in the military, he hated it. So he would get home angry every day, like just pissed off. So I think he would see me get home happy and like making money. And then I would come home and like, oh my God, babe, like I can't believe it. Like I make this much just in one day. And I starting to realize like I'm unhappy in my job and I'm seeing my girl thriving and happy. And maybe he started feeling emasculated. He never told me, but I think masculinity, femininity is real. And I do want to feel like a feminine, and I do want my man to feel like a masculine. And now it has been hard for me to date and have guys be okay with maybe I probably make more income than you, and that's okay. Like,
do you feel like it always has to boil down to income, or do you feel like
no,
it takes
not
like
for me.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you, my last situationship, I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
One of the main things that happened, it was that.
Yeah.
That, like, he couldn't get past the fact that maybe I made more income than him. Well, there was a lot of things, right?
Well, see, it's because I feel like naturally that kind of feels like it makes a man feel like, well, damn, she's completely independent.
How am I gonna?
Yeah, no, like
her?
I mean, yeah.
What am I gonna bring to the table?
Besides maybe some like emotional maturity or something, and that's really all probably he could have brought to the table after that. So yeah, it intimidates a lot of men. It does.
I get it, but I grew up so poor, like humble, not poor. I had a house over my head, but dude, there was times where like my mom was like, damn, like I'm gonna buy you Little Caesars again for the 5th time this week.
Hey, Little Caesars would be smacking though. Like,
You think we all?
yeah, for sure.
Like, you know, I didn't grow up with a lot of money, so I never saw money as like an important thing in my life that I needed my man to have.
Yeah.
The first thing I always looked at was like, I fall in love with personalities. Like if me and you vibe and like I could be with you all day and you make me laugh, that's it. Like it's game over to me.
Yeah.
So I just like to vibe with people and have like a good energy and
For sure.
and just
So in your head, like just from your like being self-aware yourself, even like if a dude didn't make that much, like you'd be completely okay with like.
I feel like
obviously he doesn't. He shouldn't be a bum.
He needs to,
obviously, right?
obviously
Okay,
not a bum.
yeah.
Like I want you to be in some type of ambition.
Yeah.
Want to do something with your life.
Yeah.
Like not just be like, oh, I want to stay home and like not do shit.
Yeah.
You go to work, babe. Cool. I'll wait for you here. Like,
sure.
nah. I want you to be like, oh, I want to do. Like, dude, you could be like, I want to be a teacher.
Yeah.
I want to be a basketball coach. I want to be a basketball coach or a football coach for the rest of my life. I love helping kids.
Yeah.
If that's ambition to me.
For sure.
That's like great ambition. I want to help people. Like that's great. You don't have to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
You know, but I could see why guys like will look at my lifestyle and be like, I can't keep up with this chick.
Yeah.
Like,
But that boils that really at the end of the day, like it's unfortunate, but it boils down to insecurity at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like if you're like obviously it's probably easier than it looks, but if you're secure enough in yourself, like in comparison to like 99% of like the fucking country, that let alone the world, that's a shitload of money. Like for someone to even try to like you shouldn't feel bad if you cannot like live up to that, bro, because that's a very small percentage of people are actually making that.
That's what my
like what do you
that's what my best friend Vajra and Dev told me. Like my friends in Austin, I have like really good friends over there.
Yeah.
And they told me that, because they even tell me like, I was like, dude, like, wow, I'm meeting these guys, and then they see like my apartment and how I live, and then they feel some type of way about it. I don't get it, and they're like, Lala, like, you're like in the top percentage of women
earners,
and like you don't get it. Like it is intimidating for men, and I shit.
Because think about it. Like you essentially become a shot caller. Like there's nothing he can do to stop you, right? Like if a man has you to where you depend on him, I mean, of course, naturally he's gonna control more stuff. If he pays all the bills, whatever, his voice, you know what I'm saying, it holds a lot more weight than to when somebody.
But is that like a controlling factor then?
Why would he want to stop me?
I'm not saying. Yeah. I mean, but it's natural. Like you gotta understand how that's just how it's been for years. I don't think it's he's purposely trying to be controlling, but when a man is stripped away from that, like what he's used to, he's just like. Like
if I tell him I want to travel.
Exactly. Like you're like, let's go to Bora Bora next week, and he's like, well, shit. Like, what are you paying for everything, or do I don't have no money? I'm broke.
Yeah.
Like think about it like that. You know what I mean? Like
Okay, but
You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
for him to be like, oh, I'm gonna put this whole trip on her.
Yeah, and
You know
and
what I'm saying?
it did. I could see that. I could see why it could bother a guy, but I don't. It's because my mentality and the way I am and the way I grew up is so like. No, I never. I bared. Okay, and I don't want everyone to think that I've been making money for years.
Yeah.
Because it's literally I've only had my business for like 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
so I barely even started making real ass money like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so my mentality was still like, I'm dating because I like your personality.
For sure.
I
Yeah.
never even crossed my mind
Yeah.
that guys really cared
Yeah.
if I make
And at
money.
the same time, are you supposed to like purposely not make as much money as you're making?
Yeah, like do I have to like
Yeah,
not make
exactly.
to get married
No, yeah, because I mean,
have kids?
like that's a problem or just something you think about. Like, you shouldn't have to feel like you're holding yourself back either. If you're
Yeah, and I
fulfilled,
have had guys tell me like, I feel like I'm gonna hold you back.
Mm.
I'm gonna hold you back, and I do feel emasculated
Yeah.
by your success. And then they start thinking like, maybe we're not good for each other. We don't vibe because of it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Then I'm like, we do.
Would
fucking
you
vibe.
not like feel like a whole bunch more pressure? Like if you're dating somebody that's like just way more successful than you. I mean, not to say it can be your motivation as well, but
Yeah. Well, with my mentality, like I'm gonna get there eventually.
Yeah.
yeah, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But that's just me. Like, but I can see the other point of view. But at the same time, it's like I'm just not there. But I'm going to.
Yeah,
be,
exactly.
You know?
And I think I'm very motivational, and I think I put this is another thing I might have happened in my relationship that I'm realizing now, that I was putting pressure without knowing I was putting pressure. Like, he would be like, I hate my job, and I'd be like, well, babe, get out of it. Like, you don't have to be doing this. Like, I'll help you make a business. Let's think of something. Let's grow a business together, or whatever business you want. Like, I'll help you out. Like, let's think, let's brainstorm. And like, and then I was like always talking about what kind of business can we start, and like all excited and thinking of, like, I was being a freaking entrepreneur in my head. Like, and for him, it probably felt like, dude, you're pressuring me way too much. Let me do things at my own pace.
But at the same time, like, if they really want to do it, they're gonna do it. Like, you shouldn't have to.
Bro,
like,
people are ready when they're ready, bro. They're ready on their own terms.
But no, it's because I have that frustration too, and not even just in a relationship, but even with like people that I like talk to me about wanting to do something. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm like in the position I want to be in, but at the same time, it's like, just do it, dude. Like, you know what you want to do. There's so many. Yes, there's a lot of different factors you have to think about, but if you really want to do it, then do it. And you're
And I feel like also with anybody that wants to start a business or has an idea, don't lowball it, because I feel like a lot of people, oh, I want to do this, but first I'm gonna start here, and it's like a very low thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to do something, reach for the freaking sky.
Yeah.
And that's how I was thinking. I was like, I started my business, and that was my mistake in the beginning, where I was like, this is a hobby. Like, I'm just doing this for now. Dude, I started my business in my house. In my house.
It was during COVID, right?
During COVID, in my house. I thought it was a hobby. I thought it was going to be a side hustle. Everybody was like, this is a downgrade from being a principal. Like, dude, you have a master's. You just graduated. Like, you just finished a principalship. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, no, it's just a hobby. I'm doing it for now. I'm just bored. There's nothing to do. But hell no, dude. I was making way more money in 1 hour than I was working for 8 hours as a teacher.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But what was it that, because you said you actually did enjoy it, you were fulfilled, but what was it made you want to, like, is it just boredom? Like, what was it?
I woke up one day and I started realizing, like, I'm not 100% happy with how I'm living my life, and I feel like I'm not fulfilling all my, like, everything that I know I can do. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing enough for myself. And I always pictured this lifestyle in my head, and I'm a big manifestation like girl. I manifest a lot of things in my life, and I had this picture in my head of what I wanted my life to look, and I still have it. Still have it, and a lot of it has already came true. A lot of it has already came true. So, but I still have more goals and like that I need to accomplish, and I manifested every single one of them. So every time I had this weird feeling where I was like, I need to start a business. And I didn't know what kind of business. So I started looking into things online. Like, I was a I was a speech and business teacher, so I would give projects on like starting a business. I would give them projects like give me a presentation and a prototype and a PowerPoint and just give me like a PR campaign, like crazy things. And I would put them in groups and they would come up with these ideas. And then they would ask me like, Miss Lara, what business would you start? And why don't you making us do all this homework? What would you do? And I'm like, but then I started thinking like, you're right. Like what would I do? And I'm over here encouraging all my students to start a business and you could do reach for the sky and do all these things. But then I'm just there like telling them what to do, but I'm not acting on it. I'm big on actions. Like if you want to do something, if you have an idea, act on it.
For sure.
Like it's not gonna happen to you. You're not gonna just sit there and let the idea come to you. Like I'm not gonna just sit there every day and like wait for my clients to magically come to me and my students to magically come to me. Like I need to go out there and make it happen for myself. And so I just had this idea where I started doing like teeth whitening and like lip blush, and I started saying I transform smiles and during the pandemic. But it was, I started making videos, like content as a joke, not a joke, but like I'm just doing this for a month, for 2 months during the pandemic until it's over, because I am going crazy in this house not doing anything. And my ex was actually like, he was in Kuwait, and I was by myself, dude, for like months. So I just had the time to just sit down and really think about like, what do I see myself doing in the future and what do I want my life to look like? And it wasn't where I was. So I went back to school full time. I was working from 8 in the morning till 11 p.m. I would get home. Because I would go to work till 5 p.m. or 4:30, and then I would go to my business because I moved out of my house. Sorry, it was illegal for 2 years, and then I went and
you got a studio.
I got a little studio in Central El Paso by Coconuts.
Hell yeah, but that shit was fun.
Right in 5 Points.
Where I grew up in 5 Points. Like I got a little studio there, and I was getting clients. I was getting people coming to me. I was whitening their teeth. I was doing lip blush, and then I started getting into skin camouflage and medical tattooing.
How did you come about that? How did you stumble upon doing that?
I just started seeing everything online, and I was like, I want to do something that nobody else is doing in El Paso. Like I'm in the beauty industry already, but what are people doing in El Paso and what are they not doing? And I was like, I don't want to, if everybody is going right, I'm going to go left. And this was like out of my comfort zone, and I didn't really know a lot about it, but I took some trainings and it worked out for me.
So did you have to leave to take these trainings?
I went to Las Vegas. I went to California.
And so essentially you're tattooing on people?
It's different. It's different things. Like, so when girls get plastic surgeries, and then like in El Paso, we're bougie, man. We take care of ourselves. The women out here, for sure, we don't play. Like I could honestly say El Paso has some of the hottest women I've seen.
For that 100%. So many times.
And guys will tell you, girls will like, I've traveled a lot, and I'm still like, damn, my girls in El Paso are hotter. Like hotter, and they have cooler personalities. But
I second that. No, I'm just kidding.
But like honestly, El Paso has some beautiful women, and we take care of ourselves. And I'm proud of that. Like I'm proud of that. So
gotta get the lashes, gotta get the nails, get the hair.
No, all I hear is expensive. That's what I hear.
But yeah, so I started just like, hey, you know what? A lot of women now are getting plastic surgery, doing things in their face and whatever, Botox, fillers, all these things. So essentially I wanted to help women feel better about themselves, because I work with scars, with stretch marks, and a lot of women get surgeries not knowing that, dude, you could get like your plastic surgeon could give you a fucked up scar. They can mess you up.
I had a surgery twice on my eye. He fucked me up, dude. Yeah,
like you need to do your research on who your plastic surgeon is, because you go in there thinking, I'm just gonna look beautiful and good. Like you don't ask, like you don't even know that you're gonna have a scar. So a lot of my clients go in there thinking like, I'm just gonna come out like a baddie, but like then they're like, oh shit, like I have a huge scar and it's super visible. So I just love helping women feel better about themselves and their skin and more confident, like, so, or even like I've had women had cancer and they had or they lost a lot of weight, gained a lot of weight, or whatever it was, and their skin ruptures and they have stretch marks all over themselves, like, so, and they're like, big ruptures. And just even me being able to help them like wear that swimsuit, that bikini for the summer, that's success to me.
Yeah.
Wait, so what exactly do you do with the scars? Like,
so there's different techniques, right? There's now people used to think that, or people think that it's just with pigment and ink and it's just a real tattoo, where like and sometimes I do that. It depends on, it's a case by case, but now there's inkless techniques. Like we use serums and natural ingredients to camouflage your skin or take out the hyperpigmentation. So there's new techniques now. Everything, dude, the beauty industry is growing. Like if I could recommend any girl, like if they want to start a business, do it in the beauty industry, because this industry is always going to be there. It's booming. It's not like technology is taking over, right?
Yeah.
Like now I go to freaking Target and Walmart, like they don't even have people. I'm just there using machines now.
Yeah.
Like beauty industry, you're gonna need people.
For sure.
And it's gonna, girls are always gonna want to look good, and guys, and men.
100%. Especially in El Paso, like you said, like I bet the beauty industry here is a very good opportunity now.
It's big. It's big. Anywhere. It's huge.
For sure. And so, how long into your business were you like, holy shit, I'm making some serious money?
I think my second year.
Yeah.
My first year I was still working full time, and I only made like $26,000 in my business
on the side.
Yeah. And I was working full time, but I still thought that was good.
That was great for a side hustle. That's amazing.
Yeah, for a side hustle. And I started late. I started like in May.
Wow.
Like really started like in May or something like that. So, but then the second year, I was like, oh shit, I make like more than $100,000.
Holy shit.
And you were doing it part-time still?
No, then I quit. So I did it for a year. I did my teaching and my business for a year. That's when I made $26,000. And then I quit, and I just focused on my business like full time. I gave it everything I had. I even had to stop hanging out with friends, stop even giving attention to my boyfriend, to my family, everything. I just focused on this one thing, and I made it my priority for a year, and it benefited me. Like I grew it. Every year it got better and better. Like once you grow a business, the first 2 years are the hardest years. The first 2 years you're like, what did I get myself into? Oh my God, you have breakdowns. It gets hard the first 2 years. And then you're like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like I got it. I'm getting it together. But I think that's like with any job too.
For sure. How was your days look like? Like how many how many clients would you see a day, and like what was like your schedule like?
Well,
in the first year
with skin cam. Well, in the first year I was seeing a lot. I was like taking in a bunch, because I don't think there was a lot of people doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
So I was seeing like 4 or 5 clients I was making like really good money doing just teeth whitening and lip blush.
Yeah.
Like I was making like, I remember one time I made like $2,000 in one day, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But with skin camouflage now, dude, I charge like minimum like services are like $600 per section. So I've even had clients where I'm like, damn, I just made like $3,500 with one client.
Wow.
And I've left like my job leaving. Oh, I just made like $7,000 in one day.
Damn.
With clients.
Yeah.
Like, or I know and I only saw like 2 or 3 clients.
Yeah.
So,
and was it at first, was it hard to explain like what you were doing because it was so foreign to people?
Yeah, because even still now it's a little hard to explain, because people are like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, well, I've never heard of that. I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things you could do with skin camouflage. You could fix girls' areolas.
Oh wow.
You could like
fix them. What do you mean? Like take off that little white line?
No. Well, when girls get surgeries, like they get like breast lifts and they have scars. Yeah. But now there's even like areola lightening. Like you
can get like lighter nipples.
Yeah, dude. I even saw like butthole lightening.
Damn, that's so crazy. People really do that.
People out there lightening their buttholes. It's a real thing.
Wow.
Yeah, their nipples. I mean, I think that's like, to me, that's a little next level. Like,
dude, yeah, that's
crazy. Leave my butthole alone, bro.
Dude, yeah, they're taking this shit to the next level.
But it's real. But like for me, it's more like when girls get surgeries and they have scars and they're big. Like girls got surgeries, but they want to look good. Not even for the guy, for themselves. You know.
Do you see a lot of male clients?
It's rare when I see male clients. I saw it's rare, but male clients should know, like, I've had male clients and they're, don't post me, don't tell anybody that I'm here. And like, it's because they go to the gym a lot and they do like a lot of like weights, and they rupture their shoulders.
Yeah.
And they get like huge stretch marks, or like they're red or brown, or like just huge ruptures, and they're like embarrassed. But I'm like, dude, don't be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like, this is all good. Like, you're rupturing your skin because you're working out like so hard, and you're lifting way bigger weight than your body can take.
Yeah.
So your skin's rupturing.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But it's a thing.
And so you had said, you had made like a statement saying that your second year, when you had like went all into your business, that like certain relationships were starting to suffer. So like, walk us through that, like those sacrifices and kind of like.
So I started seeing when I started, getting, in the beginning, I think people didn't take me seriously. And even some people that were like, oh, these are my friends. You start realizing who your real friends are when you start doing something important
For sure.
for yourself.
100%.
Even I'm sure you guys like could probably see some people like,
100%.
like, hating a little bit, or like not understanding, like, because when you grow up with some people, they see you growing up with them, and then they stay here, and then you start growing and growing and growing, and like that, some people like don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't get it, or like they're like, nah, like they don't want to see you win at the end of the day, like. And not everybody, because I still have some really good friends that still have my back and still congratulate me. But I had people making fun of me, telling me that this was stupid, like I'm downgrading my life, and putting hate on me out there, even on social media and stuff. Like, and I in the beginning, I think I let it get to me a little bit, because I felt bad. I felt like, oh my God, people are talking bad about me, and it made me get a little like sheltered. But then I got out of that, and I was like, nah, dude, why am I worried about what people think about me when I'm making money and I'm helping people feel better about themselves? But I started realizing the people that supported me the most was strangers. Strangers.
That's the biggest one.
What
People I've
biggest
never
supporters,
met.
dude.
Yeah.
People I've never met were supporting me the most, and like, hey, like I want to get a service with you, or I saw the post you made, like that's awesome, it inspired me, I'm going through this. And I'm like, wow, people that don't even know me,
Isn't that so wild, bro? Like the people that you think, like if you were to start something that you think would support you the most, like end up just maybe not even like saying anything to you, but just like showing no fucking support whatsoever.
Because I don't think that maybe they're not hating on you, but they're just not saying shit.
And at the same time, maybe they're not hating, but at the same time they wouldn't mind if you stopped
They're like,
doing what you were doing.
In fact, it almost seems like they're kind of praying on your downfall.
Like they're waiting for you to fall.
Exactly.
They're waiting to see you fail.
Exactly.
Or like I remember like I made a video. I stopped posting when I was going through the things that I was telling you guys about. I went through the worst depression of my life when I moved to Austin. So I broke up with my boyfriend. I had to start a new business. I caught like my ex doing shit on me or whatever, lying to me. Dude, I had to give a training, and all my students in that training were from out of town, all of them. And the day before, I found out that he was doing this to me. But what made it worse is I was sick. I was like, when they tell you like heartbreak gets you sick, I didn't believe it until it happened to me. I had fever rashes all over my body, like here. It was just, I was like, why do I have all these rashes? I thought I was like, oh my God, I have cancer. I was going crazy. But it was like later, I was so stressed out that I started getting sick. I had started getting fever, and my skin started like dealing with it. And I had to go and give a training the next day to all these students that came from out of town and had already paid their deposit and everything and had flown to see me. And I remember like I was up all night because this dude didn't even come home. And I was taking care of my dogs, and I was out of town by myself. I had no friends. I had just opened this business. This was like my second training in Austin. And I called my brother, and I was just crying my ass off. Like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. I can't go to work. And my brother was like, you need to show up for your students. You need to show up for these people because they're depending on you. And he's like, and you're stronger than this. Like you motivated them to start this business. Now get the fuck up, dude, and go to work. And sometimes like I call my brother, my brother's not the type to be like, sister, don't worry, take a break and like go to sleep. Like, you need rest. Like, my brother's like, go after it. Go and get it. Like, you ain't no bitch. So he literally told me, like, just go to work. You could do it. It's just a couple hours. I went to work. I put on a facade. Like, I freaking was like, I got this, whatever. But then I broke down. I broke down in class. In class, I just broke down and I told them what happened. Thank God they were understanding. But dude, I literally freaking fainted. And they called the ambulance.
Wow.
And like,
Damn.
I was so sick. And I still went to work the next day. I still give them the second day of training. And then the day after that, I was like, guys, I'm so sick. Like, they're like, don't worry. Like, I told them everything that was happening to me. They're like, grab your stuff from your apartment. I lived in Georgetown, which is 30 minutes outside of Austin. Grab your stuff from your apartment, everything that you have, put it in your car, and leave. And I literally did that. I grabbed all my stuff from my apartment, and I just left. I had to leave everything that I knew. I left everything that I knew, and I drove off, and it was like the hardest thing to drive off. And I stayed in a hotel for a week. And literally, I felt like I had nothing. Like, I didn't have my family there with me. I didn't have my friends. I was even embarrassed to even tell my family, my dad and my mom and my cousins, like, what was going on with us and my friends even. Because I was like, this is the love of my life. I'm going to get married to this guy. Everything's great. We were always like the perfect couple, like happy couple. Like, that's it. Everybody was so excited for me. And I was so embarrassed to tell anybody what was happening. And dude, my mental health was at its lowest it's ever been. I was just in that hotel room. I literally was like, I woke up and I was like, God, I don't want to wake up. And that was the hardest thing I've ever gone through. Just having to be in a new city, start a new business, get out of a 5-year relationship. I feel like I lost myself, dude. Because sometimes when you're in a relationship, you lose yourself. And you start forgetting like what you like to do and who you are because you want to please another person. And that affected me. Like, that affected me deeply. And I'm not even saying that this person is a bad person. It's not. It's just we grew apart. But, like, dude, I didn't even want to wake up anymore. And I was having these crazy thoughts. Like, I just want to sleep. Like, please, God. Like, I don't want to wake up anymore. And I cried. I was depressed. Like, it was the worst time. And I literally had to go and see a counselor. And I've never done that before. I've never even taken like medication before. And I took medication, like depression medication, for 3 months. And I mean, and it did help me a little bit, but no. I just like started going to the gym, like started focusing on like things are going to get better. And dude, it took me a whole year to really heal. A whole year to really, even now I feel like I'm not 100%, but I'm way, way better than I was. But like last year, people could have seen my business and see how my lifestyle was and everything I was doing. I was traveling. I was doing all these crazy, like amazing, fun things. But it was the hardest year of my life. I was struggling. I was going through all these mental health issues. I was lost. I even lost who I was for a bit there, you know? And my business suffered from it. Yeah. And I feel like that this year I'm seeing the suffer from everything that I went through, you know? But I had to put myself, I still went back to work the next day and I told I finished the training. I gave the students, I couldn't go like one day and I flew them back out. Wow. I flew them back out just to finish the training, to give them like a whole nother training because I felt like so like bad that I even wasn't at my 100% best. Yeah. You know, but damn, dude, like mental health is real. It's a struggle and I feel like it's something that Mexicans, our culture, Hispanics, or just a lot of cultures don't talk about. It's something that it's hard for people to talk about it, especially men. I feel like it's easier for women to be like, I'm sad, I'm going through this, and call my girlfriend and tell her like, girl, like all this happened to me. And it's easier for women, I think, to talk about it. But women are more emotional. I will say that. I think we are more emotional. It's in our genes. But for guys to, when a guy tells me I'm depressed and I'm going through something, when a guy's vulnerable with me, that's sexy.
That's pretty fucking badass.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, honestly, that to me is like, wow. For a man to show me what your struggles are and how you're feeling, that's strong.
Yeah, because I don't know, like you mentioned before, like how men, yeah, when I feel like they feel like it's like non-masculine to, you know, like kind of share your emotions and share what you're going through, but I don't get how that has to do with masculinity at all. Like it's really like a communication thing.
If anything, that makes it more masculine.
Yeah, like I don't know, that's never made sense to me, like how that's correlated. Like you not sharing what's on your mind, and you just holding everything in. Like, yeah, I get it. Like you should be a rock. You should be like very. You should be strong, but at the same time, like you can still be strong, but like say what you're feeling. You know, I don't get that. How that's.
I feel like guys don't want to be needy. You know, they don't want to feel like they're being needy, and like they don't want to cry in front of a girl, because then that what does that tell you? Like, but in reality, there's levels to it too, right? Like if you're crying right immediately, I just met you. Like,
for sure.
Let's have a drink.
So you're not even drunk yet,
right?
bro.
Like, not even drunk. Let's go to dinner first. But
so you've had men cry in front of you? Yeah, multiple times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, and cry because they're going through like serious life issues.
For sure.
So and that I was like, wow. Like I think I've had every boyfriend I've ever had cry to me.
Yeah.
You know? But it took him a while.
Yeah.
But damn, you never know. Family happens.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen.
So like when it comes to like, because I actually want to go back to that topic of like the whole masculinity and like femininity. Like your earnings and stuff, and like having maybe like a woman that's making more money than you, then like let's just say like going forward, because at the end of the day, like society is moving to a place where both males and females can make as much money as each other, and sometimes I mean females can make more,
vice versa.
Yeah, so like as a society, then how do you move forward into like still like a man in a relationship still feeling like he can be masculine in himself, but not necessarily be the financial provider, you know?
Yeah.
How should you like approach a relationship?
I don't even think that it means like, oh, you could make good money.
Yeah.
And still be financially providing. Doesn't mean because your girl makes more money than you that you're not going to provide.
Yeah. At that point, it's like what is that, competition type
then
shit?
I'm not saying I want a man I want to take care of. No. I don't want a man that I'm going to take care of. Like, I want a man that loves what he does. I want a man that wakes up every day and is excited to go to work. Mm-hmm. That to me is success. That to me is ambition, because that means when he comes home, he's going to be happy. Mm. And I don't want to go home and feel stressed out and feel like I don't want to come home because my significant other is going to be bitching about his day and his life. And like, yes, you could bitch about your day because everybody bitches about, oh my God, this happened at work, or this person pissed me off, or whatever. But like, you need to be positive and love what you do, because if you're not loving what you do, you're not going to be happy, dude. Your job is a lot of your life. Like, I would say, if not most of your life. Yeah. And if you're not happy with what you're doing, then you need to change that. Mm-hmm. And I don't care if you downgrade even your income. Like, I want to just know that you're ambitious. And dude, I'm down to, in the beginning, when you're dating somebody, yes, court them. Mm-hmm. Like, don't be a fucking colo and be like, we're going 50-50, girl. Like, bro, we're in date one. Yeah. Like, yes, I'm still a girl. I'm still feminine. I still want to feel pursued.
Yeah.
And I still want to be feminine. Like, as a female entrepreneur that's making good money, I want to go home and feel safe and feel like my man is still masculine and he still makes decisions. Because I make decisions all day at work. I make decisions for myself, for everybody. Like, I get home and I don't want to make decisions anymore. I want to get home and my man tells me like, hey, babe, we're going to do this weekend. I got you with this. We're going to go out to eat here, and this is what we're going to do. Right? And I like that. Like, man up a little bit with me.
So do people feel like the fact that, let's just say you're just making a lot of money, they feel like they don't have to do those type of things anymore?
I have dated somebody or guys or I've dated guys when they find out like that they're recording me, but then they found out like, this is where you live. Oh shit, this is a car. This is like what you're making.
You see like a noticeable shift.
And then it's like when we go out, they want me to pay.
Yeah.
Like, or they're like cool with me.
Dude,
like paying.
How does that go? Like he's just like, do you got it, or
like you're just quiet, like, or no, it's like this, like I got this one, you got the next one, like that. It's always like that.
Shit.
So you got the next round. It's like, okay, and I don't mind, but it depends. It's a vibe. I think it's always a vibe, and like I need to get to know you a little bit and see. But if we're barely dating, if we're on date, once we're on date like 5. And I'm like, okay, I've been talking to you for like a month, or then I'm like, okay, like
it can feel good. It can feel good when your girl spoils you.
Yeah, I like buying, dude. I like buying my man like clothes. I've even been guilty about taking like guys on trips and like, who cares? Like to me, money comes and goes.
But see, that's badass though. Like when you put it in that context, because I mean, as a man, like a man that has a lot of money, he's doing that by default, right? So when you look at it like just as a woman reverse, like if she's making more money than 85-90% of the men, I mean, it's like it's inevitable, dude. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
that's pretty cool.
I honestly didn't mind, but I think the guy did mind. Like that, it bothered him a lot. It bothered him a lot that I was paying most of the things. But in my mind, I was like, I just want to have fun with you. I want to enjoy this experience with you. And for him, it was like, just to let you know, like, I'm going to get you back and I'm going to eventually, or like, how much was this? Like, oh, I just paid for this just to let you know, like, we're even now. Like, it's not about that. But I mean, it's hard. It's hard. But now that I'm in Austin, I am meeting a lot of more like people that make a lot more money than me. Like leaving El Paso made me realize, like, dude, I don't even think I make that much money. Leaving El Paso challenged me to do better. And I met a lot of people that are doing way better than me, women and men, that are just out there killing it, making a shitload of money, dude. Like in things that I'm like, well, I didn't even like in Austin. It's huge on technology, like tech jobs, and they make bank. Like my friends, most of them work in tech sales. They make a shitload of money, and they didn't. Some of it. One of them didn't even graduate from college. He's just super smart and like.
That's a hustle mentality.
He's a freaking hustler. Yeah, he's a hustler, and he makes bank, dude, and. So over there, I'm meeting like guys that have amazing jobs. Don't even act, like they see me and they're like, "Oh, cool, that's normal. That's like cool, that's chill." So, and then I come back here and it is a little harder.
I could see
but
that.
But not everybody's like that though. Like you just need to find your people. Your people are out there. They're out there, and even if they're not at the same level you are, I don't give a shit about that. I have friends that are still in the hood, still live there, and are still like have day-to-day jobs, and they're fucking happy and doing great and have families, and that's success to me too. Seeing like somebody just be happy, to me, waking up every day and having my mental health is success. Because you could be the richest person out there, but you're miserable. You have nothing, dude. Like having money, if anything, it taught me that money doesn't mean anything. So
it's crazy how you say like last year you were traveling, you're doing all these things, but it was like your worst, like you're mentally. And from the outside looking in, though, people would think, oh, she's doing fucking amazing.
And I was traveling to escape. I was traveling so much to escape all the things I was going through that. And I was escaping it for a little bit, but I remember I went to Jamaica. I took my family, my dad and my mom. I love taking my parents on trips, dude. They're a fucking vibe. Like they never traveled, so for me taking them on trips, they take advantage of that shit. Like my mom and my dad, I took them to the Rio in Cabo, and they partied, dude. I have videos of my mom starting a party, like, and my dad partying, taking shots. And I'm like, what? Like, but anyway, so. But dude, I took my parents to Jamaica and I was so depressed, and they saw me I was just trying to get through it, but I was doing it to escape type of thing. But from going through depression and going through everything I went through, I realized like the best thing to do is to go through it. Instead of getting away from it, literally go right through it and feel all the emotions and cry and like, dude, I remember like, and this is nasty, right? But I didn't even shower for like 2 days. I was in my bed, like just laying down. Like I didn't even get out of bed, dude, for like 48 hours. Like my friends had to like knock in my door and be like, get the fuck up, dude. You're better than this. And I'm just like there crying, like I'm tired. And I'm like, no, guys, I'm just sick. I'm tired. Like, no, you're not. Like it's tough out there, dude. But like, it's anyone that's going through mental health issues right now, going through a hard time. It could be anything, like even a family member passing away or relationship, family member, business. Because having a business and being an entrepreneur is I think as a woman, it's a lot of pressure to have a business and to be consistent and keep going. There's times I cry like once a week, not even because it's so much pressure to feel like I have to keep going, and now I have people that depend on me, and I need to like work. And if I stop working, people stop making money. If I stop working, my business stops making money. If I go on vacation, like I stop making money. So I have to wake up every day and be 100 sometimes, and it's hard. Like yesterday, I took a mental health break. I was like, people were calling me, texting me, telling me these things, and I was just like, didn't answer my phone because I was so tired.
Yeah.
So tired. So you need those days. You need to take those days where you just like rest up. I think watching TV sometimes and chilling and not answering your phone and getting off social media, that's you helping your mental health. That's you soon like taking yourself out of like all that and just focusing on you and remembering like everything's fine. Things are always going to get better. Things
For
are
sure.
always going to get better. And like, people forget that sometimes.
Do you want kids?
I do want kids.
Yeah.
I do want kids, but if it doesn't happen for me, it's not going to be like the end of the world.
Why do you say it wouldn't happen for you?
I don't know. You know what? Because I'm
Like
another Mexican thing. Like my family's always like, dude, cuando ya? My tias are like, by the time you're 36, you better have a kid. That's already really late. Your kid could like that's like 36 is already like I'm 33.
Yeah.
I just turned 33 in March.
Dude, my parents had me in their 40s. You're all right.
Okay, cool, great. My mom had me actually at 36.
Yeah.
So, no, my mom had me at 33. But I do want to have kids, but with the right person, because I don't want to have kids just because I don't want to. I think it's selfish for somebody to say I want to have kids because I don't want to die alone. I don't want to be alone. Like, or I want a legacy. That's selfish to me. Like, I want to have a kid because I want to bond with somebody so hard and see them grow and just have somebody that I genuinely want to take care of. And when I have a kid, all the like partying and all of this having fun, like, dude, I'm gonna focus on that kid so hard, and I know that for a fact. So I'm not gonna be the type to be like, I had a kid and I'm still like out here at bars partying doing things and like leaving my kid with my mom all the time. I'm gonna take my kid with me everywhere I go, and so that my lifestyle is gonna change once I have a kid.
Yeah.
100%, my lifestyle is gonna change.
Do you feel like you'll be able to work as much?
No.
But
I do see moms out there that have like 3 kids, 2 kids, and they're out there hustling.
Yeah.
Like they're pregnant out there working. So who knows? I tell myself I don't think so, but I have some friends that are entrepreneurs and they're out there killing it, and they're moms.
For sure.
So I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just work with so many women that get scars from, or get stretch mark scars from having kids, and I hear all their stories, so I think I'm a little like, but I want to find somebody that I love so much, like my partner. I love this person so much that I look at you and I'm like, dude, you're like the love of my life.
Yeah.
Like, I want to build something with you. I want to have this little human that I made with you. Because I love you so much.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm a freaking hopeless romantic out here. Like, I'm over here like, guys are stupid. No, but I'm a hopeless romantic. At the end of the day, like, I'm like, my presence out there. I'm just going to have to wait a little longer, apparently.
For sure. No, yeah. I think it's for everyone.
I don't know.
Sometimes not for everyone, but...
I have some friends who are like, I'm not going to have kids, and they're happy about it, and they're, like, good with their life.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, I want to have a partner and get married, but I just like, kids are not for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay too.
Yeah.
I think that's fine too. I don't think that everybody needs to have a kid because that's what we grew up thinking and that's what life is about or whatever. Like, No, like if you are the type of person that, especially as a girl, because I feel like girls are more pressured to have kids than guys. Girls is like, oh my God, you don't have a kid. Like success, I think to Hispanics, even to my parents sometimes, like I could have all this success and be happy in my life, but if they want somebody to take care of me, they think that I need a man to take care of me. So like a lot of people think that if you're married and have a ring and have security and have a baby, like you made it, girl. Once I have a ring, woo! Like, dude, I've seen so many sad stories where, like, yes, they got married, they got that ring, but shit happened, shit hit the fan, and then they didn't work. They didn't work at all because, like, my man's taking care of me. My man's paying all the bills. He told me to stay home and not do anything, and then they're like, holy shit, he just left me for somebody else. Like, they never knew we had mountains and, like, all these... El Paso's unique. We're different. We're unique. We're a border town, but we're not just like any border town.
What's like a common thing, like for people that don't know about El Paso, like what do they think about it? Like what do they normally?
They think it's a really
it?
small town and that there's just desert and there's nothing else.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, no. There's mountains. There's a lot of partying. There's hot women.
No, literally. I mean, literally, that's...
There's beautiful women.
Yeah.
Dude,
those are like highlights.
people out here party the best, like hard.
Yeah.
We partying out here is a vibe. Like,
yeah.
But also, I feel like people in El Paso drink to like get fucking trashed. You
Exactly.
know,
You black out over here.
That's what gets us in trouble. That we drink to like get.
Why do you what do you like to go out here? What's like your when you come back? So when you come back, take me through like let's just say you only have like a day here. What are you gonna do?
Oh, if I only have a day. Oh, but I'm going hard on partying.
Yeah. Partying and then like you just want to hit
Well,
certain
shit,
restaurants
I haven't been back in a while. I came back and I was like, what? There's like that new thing that's over there in the west side. They made like a park, not a park, but the water.
The Elma.
Oh, the Elma.
The Elma.
Did you
is
go?
Sick. Yeah, we got like bottle service and Afrojack came out. We were there for.
Oh, you were at Afrojack?
We were there too.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, we were. I was there and I was like, wow, it was cold as shit.
Oh yeah,
like,
it was windy. It was
I was
cold.
all looking all cute. Todos muriéndonos de frío. But I was like, wow, this is awesome. I'm glad that El Paso made that. Like, it's really nice and luxurious and stuff. But dude, I like Hush Hush. You know, like,
do you like going to later?
No,
Nah.
not anymore.
I think it's a little younger crowd.
I did go this last time because some of my friends were there. And I was there for like 5 minutes and I was like, I'm old as fuck. Like, I'm old. Like, but that's like, that's what I did when I was younger. Like, the kids I saw, I was like, okay, it makes sense. Like, that was in college when I did that. But I think that's great that they made Hush Hush and like, just a bunch of places. There's a bunch of new restaurants that are super like nice and good food. I love El Paso food.
Mm-hmm. I heard you said you like Amar.
Yeah, I like Amar. That place is good. Dude, you know what? I used to be like, oh, Café Central's too bougie, but I actually went. And I was like, dude, it's not that expensive, and the food's good, and it's like a cool place.
Yeah.
Like, people think, like, it's going to be super expensive. It's not that expensive. And, like, going downtown to the hotels, the hotels downtown are super nice here. Mm-hmm. And they're unique. Yeah. And they remodeled them and everything. So we should, I wish we had more people go downtown and enjoy, like,
yes,
we made more of a bar scene in downtown area where all the hotels are and all of that.
I mean, that's like kind of similar to Austin too, a little bit.
But I do feel like back in my day, I went to like Marco Polo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like back in my day when I was like in Cincy and it was popping over there. I went to like the Garden, Plum.
Yeah.
All those bars back then were the shit.
We hear all the stories.
It doesn't even compare to now. It doesn't even compare. Like, it was so much fun me growing up. And even me, like, I went to UTEP. We had amazing tailgates. Like, our tailgates were badass. We had DJs inside of UTEP. We had people walking around, all the frats, a shitload of frat parties. Everybody walking around, going to each other's tailgate, drinking, vibing, like listening to different music. Now it's like they don't let you do that anymore. You have to do it outside in the parking lot, all sad. Like, I got the best of El Paso. I feel like, man, I lived it up.
Those are the prime years.
It was El Paso, man. I had so much fun out here.
Yeah. And do you bring like people that maybe live in Austin or elsewhere? Do they come here sometimes or?
Yeah. I brought some friends and they're like, This is different. But I brought a guy friend, and he was like, yo, you weren't lying. These girls out here are hot. He literally got out there with like, I kid you not, like 25 numbers.